This video will explain the MARCS in Schools Emergency Radio Program. Implementation timeline. October 2013. Telecom made agencies and schools aware of a State of Ohio grant for a free school security radio for Ohio public schools. November-December 2013. Warren County began preparing implementation strategy with input from chiefs associations, such as response type, MOU verbiage, and programming. January 2014. Telecom began conducting individual school training sessions for administrators, public safety agencies, the Responsible Dispatch Center, and Telecom. May 2014. The MOU was approved by the Warren County Prosecutor's Office. July 2014. The last public school district was trained, the Emergency Services Department finalized their Communications Center policy, and the Commissioners passed Resolution 14-1091, adding 50 schools and facilities to the radio system. August 1st, 2014, the program went live. Between August 1st and September 7th, all schools tested their emergency button, and in December 2014, the grant was open to private schools. Public safety response. Telecom attended fire chiefs meetings to gather their desired response. Fire service will follow their MCI mass casualty incident plan, starting at the first alarm, then staging at the school until safe to enter. A sample alarm progression is below. Shown is the fire EMS department, starting with the first alarm, growing up to a fifth alarm, resulting in as many as 60 ambulances. Telecom attended police chiefs meetings to gather their desired response. In winter of 2014, they chose to respond via a dispatched countywide all-call or all-county broadcast, like done for bank alarms or an officer emergency button activation. In spring of 2015, they modified their response to a dispatcher notification on both police primaries. Rather than all available units responding, the incident commander for the distressed school will request specific mutual aid agencies. Responding agencies will communicate to dispatch on inquiry, leaving the primary restricted for on-scene traffic. A new SEB incident type for school emergency button was created with the highest priority of 0 in the CAD system. School training sessions. The telecom trainer conducts a one-on-one training session with each school district as they are approved by the state to review the following: radio anatomy, radio usage and aliases, public safety response, MOU terms, and testing schedule. Invited parties include the school, such as administrators, front office staff, maintenance and operations, the fire chief, police chief, school resource officer or DARE officer, the Responsible Dispatch Center, and the telecom trainer. The talk groups. 51 public schools and 6 private schools have a radio as of March 25th of 2015. Warren County and City of Franklin Dispatch Schools share the encrypted 83 schools talk group monitored by the Warren County Comm Center and Franklin Dispatch. Lebanon Dispatch Schools share the 83 LEB schools talk group monitored only by Lebanon Dispatch. Not in public safety radios, these are only in the schools and dispatch centers. Radio anatomy for a Warren County or Franklin dispatched radio. This is a Motorola Apex 4500 with the encrypted 83 schools talk group. This is the only talk group in the radio. Encryption keeps scanners and the news media from hearing the traffic. You simply plug it into a power supply and mount the magnetic antenna where the best signal is reached. The power button has a half-second delay to deter someone from turning off the radio from the face. The speaker volume is controlled with the up-down buttons to the right of the display. A minimum volume has been programmed, allowing a school to turn down the volume if they don't want nearby students or staff to hear disturbing traffic, but not low enough that they forget to turn it up again later. The microphone connects to the bottom left port via a curly cord, allowing a radio operator to talk on it while not standing in front of the radio. They can pull it below a desk, behind a door, or somewhere safe if they are in line of sight of harm. Pressing the lightning bolt button lets someone talk to dispatch and the surrounding schools listening in. Releasing allows the radio operator to hear a response. The original orange emergency button is still functional, but the larger emergency button is specially designed for ease of use. Simply pressing either button will notify your Responsible Dispatch Center of an SEB incident type, and the response is immediately initiated. Each school has a radio alias that begins with 83, notating Warren County on the state's MARCS system, then an alias that easily represents the school while fitting into a character limit. The only noticeable difference on a Lebanon dispatched radio is that the talk group is 83 LEB schools and it is not encrypted, so media and the scanners can pick up on the traffic. All other button functions are programmed the same as the Warren County Franklin dispatched radios. Scenarios. For a violent, life-threatening active shooter or attack, you push your emergency button from the base or remote button if installed. Dispatch will immediately initiate your emergency response without waiting for verbal confirmation from the school. For a medical emergency or a non-weapon incident such as a seizure or an injury, there should be no radio use. Call 911 as you would have before the school radio existed. Finally, for a non-emergency such as phones down or a theft, there is also no radio use. The school should call their dispatch center's 7-digit number like they usually would. So let's walk through the activation of an emergency button so that responders and schools know what to expect. First, push your emergency button from the base or the remote if installed. Second, the radio alerts the responsible dispatch center. There is no wait for verbal confirmation before sending a response. The school radio stays open mic for 10 seconds, allowing dispatch and other schools to hear background noise around the distressed school's radio microphone. Warren County Dispatch will transmit on 83 schools saying a school emergency activation at XYZ building. If able, schools should key up and relay information to dispatch. If not safe to do so, the school can call 911 and relay information from a secure location. If during this emergency another school presses their emergency button, they will sound on Warren County dispatchers' consoles and get the help they need. However, they will hear a bonk on the 83 schools talk group saying it is busy, and their audio will not be heard by schools or dispatch. If this happens, it is recommended to additionally call 911 to relay verbal information and details. All schools test their emergency button twice per school year following a provided instruction sheet. August 1st through September 7th at the beginning of the school year, and during the month of March when most schools are on spring break. Some agencies are curious about the installation process of a radio. Mobilecom, the third-party vendor contracted by the state, receives the radio for programming and notifies Telecom of the radio serial number. Telecom can then send Mobilecom our selected radio alias for the school. Telecom's CAD records team creates the school alias in CAD and flags it as a test radio until it is cleared for installation. Telecom's radio team enters the radio into the database with test before and after the alias so that if it accidentally triggers an alarm, dispatch knows to disregard because it is not yet installed at the school. Telecom holds the school training session, then the trainer obtains signatures from the MOU signing parties. Telecom trainer submits the MOU for County Commissioner resolution, who then return the signed MOU with resolution, prompting the Telecom trainer to notify the CAD and radio teams to remove the test flags and notation and alias, and for Mobilecom that they are cleared to install. Mobilecom then schedules the installation with the school, installs the radio, tests the verbal and emergency functions after notifying dispatch for their situational awareness. This training video was produced by Warren County Telecom in summer of 2015 regarding the MARCS and School Security Radio in Warren County, Ohio.